coral reef is an underwater ecosystem characterized by reef-building corals, or also known as the rainforest of the sea. Reefs are formed of colonies of coral polyps held together by calcium carbonate. Most coral reefs are built from stony corals, whose polyps cluster in groups. Most reefs grow best in warm, shallow, clear, sunny, and agitated water. The three types of coral reefs. The fringing, the barrier, and the atoll. A fringing reef is one of the three main types of coral reef. It is distinguished from other main types, barrier and atolls, in that has either the entirely shallow back reef zone or lagoon, or none at all. If a fringing reef grows directly from the shoreline, then the reef flat extends to the beach and there is no back reef. In other cases, fringing reefs may grow hundreds of yards from shore and contain extensive back reefs areas with numerous seagrass meadows and patch reefs. Barrier reefs are similar to the fringing reefs in that they also border a shoreline. However, instead of growing directly out from the shore, they are separated by land by an expanse of water. This creates a lagoon of open, often deep water between the reefs and the shore. An atoll, sometimes known as a coral atoll, is a ring-shaped coral reef including a coral rim that encircles a lagoon partially or completely. There may be coral islands or cays in the ring. Typical atoll is original form as an oceanic volcano. The species of coral reefs. The Stunthorn Coral. Stunthorn Coral is one of the most important types of coral reef species in coral reef ecosystem. Not only are these reef-building hard corals one of the fastest growing, they also provide shelter home to a vast array of marine animals. The Stunthorn corals is recognized by its pointed, textured branches which form dense coral gardens usually found in shallow water. Unfortunately, this does pose significant threat to the Stunthorn coral species as it is largely affected by global warming and especially coral bleaching. The stunning carnation coral species or Dendroneuthia can be found on coral reefs around the Red Sea, Indian Sea, and the Western Pacific. The carnation coral thrives in areas with strong current and usually grow on walls or underneath rocky overhangs. When the current is running, these corals expand and bloom to feed, but when there is no current, they drop down. Their branch-like stems are pearly white, while their carnation flower-shaped heads come from a range of vibrant shades of pink, red, orange, and yellow, making them one of the most eye-catching and photogenic types of coral reef species. The bubble coral, or Pleurochyria cenosa, are one of the most intriguing types of coral reef species, usually found in sheltered areas at depths of 3 to 35 meters. The bubble coral is often mistaken for fish eggs. During the day, these white skin-colored polyps resemble bubbles or even a bunch of grapes. But at night, the little balloons deflate, allowing for their tentacles to protrude and hunt for food. Bubble corals can be found in coral reef locations such as the Red Sea and Indian Sea and to the mid-Pacific. These stony reef-building corals grow in colonies across in the Indo-Pacific. Leaf corals thrive in shallow coral reefs in depths of up to 20 meters and feed on plankton. Leaf corals grow upward in an unusual conical shape, and their giant ruffled edges make them look like big cabbages. They are most commonly found in muted colors such as yellow, green, and brown. The leaf coral offers a shelter habitat for a wide variety of marine life, as reef fish use their large plate-like structures to hide away from predators. One of the most elegant types of coral reef species is the Venus sea fan, found predominantly in Bahamas and the West Indies. This beautiful soft coral is made up of an intricate network of branchlets which grow from a small base. The Venus sea fan coral comes in shades of off-white, yellow, and lavender. Their preferred habitat is shallow waters with strong waves at a maximum depth of 10 meters, making them a coral reef species that can be enjoyed by both snorkelers and divers alike. The swivel whip-like branches of the sea whip coral come in a range of eye-catching colors, including red, orange, yellow, and purple. These coral reef species are usually found in deeper waters, living on walls and rocks, growing up to 3 feet. If you are a keen macro spotter, look out for the minuscule whip coral shrimp, which reside on the branches of this coral reef species. The sand corals, or tubastae, thrive in coral reef locations across the Red Sea, Indo-Pacific, Western Indian Ocean, and the Southern Pacific. They usually live underneath dark overhangs and inside caves where there are nutrient-rich water and strong currents. During feeding, the tentacles of this coral will extend from their tubular base and fully open, ready to receive plankton. This cheerful organism can be found in an array of bright colors ranging from the shades of yellow, orange, red, and pink. Fox corals, also known as jasmine coral or Nemenzophilia, are one of the most attractive coral reef species. These ruffled polyps range in color from light pink through to greeny blue hues. Although they are not classed as species under threat, the fox coral is still relatively rare in the wild and usually resides in coral reefs around the Indo-West Pacific from the Philippines to Papua New Guinea. You will find fox corals living on sheltered coral reefs and underneath rocky overhangs for protection. Organ pipe coral, or Tubipora musica, is a species that is perhaps better appreciated in person. Although this coral reef species is classed as soft coral, they have hard skeleton which houses each individual soft tube. Every one of these tubes has a feathery head of tentacles, which are used to feed on plankton. Watch in awe as their mesmerizing tentacles open and close in unison. Organ pipe corals are found in shallow waters and prefer sheltered areas. They live in the tropical waters of coral reefs in the Indian and Pacific Ocean.